First up here tonight at 6, a follow-through on a story that we've stayed on top of in the days and the weeks following the hurricanes. Good evening and welcome everyone here to ABC Action News at 6. I'm Paul Legrone.
And I'm Nadine Yanis. Wendy has the night off. Now, back in October, after Hurricane Helene, we told you about a Pasco County mobile home park where people were getting eviction notices even though their homes were unlivable because of storm damage. Well, after our story aired, the park's owners told us that those eviction notices were a mistake.
But as our Pasco County reporter Eric Waxler shows us tonight, his reporting led to other people reaching out from other mobile home parks owned by the same company.
Micheal Deady says he was not surprised when he saw our ABC Action News story about the company that owns Harborview Mobile Manor in Port Richey.
Knowing that they're in a flood area, they had zero plan.
Among the issues there after Hurricane Helene, people were getting eviction letters, even though their homes had been destroyed by flooding.
How can we do that to our seniors? They can't afford it. We're going to bankrupt them.
Deady says he wasn't surprised because ELS, Equity Lifestyle Properties, also owns the mobile home park where he lives in Clearwater, Hillcrest MHC. He and HOA President Judy Marriott have a binder documenting all the problems they say are going on here. After receiving some of the complaints, the city of Clearwater did find problems, including excessive growth of weeds and accumulation of debris at the park. Some of that partially obstructed the roadway. Also cited by the city, buildings that needed structural and decorative repairs. Some of the issues were ultimately resolved, but we found the remnants of a large tree that had fallen over and crashed into a home during Hurricane Milton.
The park tries to make that the responsibility of the resident. Oh, that tree's on your lot? You own it.
We also saw park-owned power pedestals still leaning and propped up with 2x4s. These frustrated residents say there needs to be better oversight so companies follow the laws spelled out in Chapter 723 of the Florida statute which governs mobile home parks. The statute includes a general obligation for maintaining the grounds, buildings, and utility connections.
All the things that 723 says the park is supposed to do, their business model finds a way to slough it off onto the residents.
After our story, we also heard from people living at several other ELS-owned mobile home parks who had a long list of complaints. There's a website and Facebook page spotlighting issues at ELS parks, too. The ELS website says it runs more than 200 mobile home parks around the country, with many in Florida. Chad Orsatti is an attorney with Orsatti & Associates and deals with mobile home parks.
The tenants would have to maintain their individual mobile homes. The park owners have an obligation to maintain buildings, improvements in the common areas, keep them in a state of good repair. If someone feels like they're being harassed, they should certainly contact, a local attorney to investigate and determine if there has been any breach by the park owner of Chapter 723. I can tell you there's very specific rules.
I emailed a representative of Equity Lifestyle Properties to ask about the complaints from the residents that reached out to us. In the company's response, they say they spend millions of dollars each year to, quote, improve the infrastructure, common areas, and amenities at our communities, and they are, quote, focused on complying with Florida Statute Chapter 723. ELS says they've also worked to help residents in need by founding a nonprofit where 100% of donations goes to people in ELS communities having difficulty paying rent. ELS says of the 73,000 residents they have in Florida, quote, we've heard from a handful of unhappy residents, and, quote, there are many thousands of residents who are happy with their community and management. Back at Hillcrest, John says management called police after he warned a potential buyer about flooding issues. This report shows police did not pursue the matter. John says some of the issues can make life especially difficult for seniors on fixed incomes.
There's a lot of people in here that live solely on their Social Security check.
I mean, do you think they're being taken advantage of?
Yes, there's no question about it, because you're stuck here.
In Clearwater, Eric Waxler, ABC Action News.